Hey guys! So if you like Olive Garden's chicken gnocchi soup, then you will want to watch this video because today I'm going to make a copycat recipe of exactly that. Alright guys, so for this recipe you're going to need carrots, spinach, chicken broth, potato gnocchi, half and half, extra virgin olive oil, flour, thyme, parsley, it says nutmeg, but we'll talk about that in a minute, onion, garlic, butter, and then chicken breasts, but I'm going to use chicken tenderloins because I did find a deal on them. So back to the nutmeg. I've never tasted hints of nutmeg in the chicken gnocchi at Olive Garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to omit it at first, taste it, and if it needs it, then we will add it. I forgot to mention you're also going to need celery. I almost forgot it. You need celery. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken cut up. Also, I've already put a little bit of oil and I put a little bit of oil in the pot or pan or whatever you are using. It recommends using a Dutch oven. I do not have one. Maybe one day. So we're gonna go ahead and get these chopped up. I've already got the pan heating, medium heat, and we're just gonna kind of dice this up. I definitely need to sharpen my knife. Let me kind of scoot all these over. You just want to make little chunks, however big, however small. You decide. Cook with your heart. If you have a recipe, you don't like some of the stuff, omit it. It's okay. There's a lot of things I want to try that have mushrooms. I'll try them, but guess what? I ain't gonna have the mushrooms because I don't like mushrooms. If you like mushrooms, more power to you. It's something I don't care for, never have, probably never will. My taste buds have grown a lot in my older age, but mushrooms is one thing I still can't get behind. Now, I mean, cream of mushroom soup, let's just be honest, basically no mushroom. I think they use dehydrated mushrooms in it. I could be wrong, but the texture of and flavor of the mushroom is just not in cream of mushroom soup. Now, I only use cream of mushroom soup in stuff. I never eat it as it is, so that could be another reason it doesn't bother me. But like chunks of mushroom, ugh, just gross. Even when I worked at the pizza places, if I had to make a pizza with mushroom, I just thought, how could you eat this? Now, something surprising though, I love the smell of cooking mushrooms. Don't ask me why. I hate the taste of them, but they smell so yummy. Like when they're cooking, they smell good, but I don't like them. Don't like them. Also, I'm kicking myself. I just realized I grabbed the cutting board for the vegetables. Now I'm gonna have to get a completely different one and soak this because I'm cutting chicken on it. And I never, ever cut chicken on my wooden cutting boards. Any meat for that matter. And here I am because I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking of cutting all this with scissors straight into the pot, and then I changed my mind last moment and forgot to grab one of the plastic cutting boards. So yeah, I'm kicking myself hard. All right. So once you have all your chicken cut, this is probably more than it calls for, to be honest, but I might triple the recipe. Who knows? I have enough ingredients that I can triple it, so we'll see once we start putting the liquid and stuff in. I'm putting a heaping amount of salt. I like to do each layer, so let's get the salt in there. And we're also just going to use a spoon. Now I'm going to be using the same pot, so once the chicken is cooked, I will actually take the chicken out, put it in a bowl until we get to the add chicken part of the recipe, because I did not pre-cook my chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up just a little, medium high, and we'll come back when it's cooked. All right, so while that chicken is cooking, we're going to go ahead and get our onion done. And I'm going to have to sharpen my knife later. Let me get a bowl for the scraps. All right. A garbage bowl if we may. That thing is in the way. All right. Oops. Just gonna stir our chicken every now and then. Now I may have to get, because I decided to double the recipe, possibly triple the recipe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up this whole onion, see how many cups it is, see if I need to get another onion. I'm interested to really see how much how much chicken we have once it's cooked. And it calls for finely diced. I thought about getting the food processor out, and I might actually do that, because I'm gonna have to get it out for the carrots and celery. So should I do the onion in it as I sit here and continue to cut? Yeah, let's do that, guys. So I don't know what's going on with the food processor. I can never figure it out. I'm using the shredding thing. On the onions, I get it, it pulverized them, but it does the same thing with the celery. It does not just shred it, it pulverizes it. It makes it basically liquid. So I don't know. I ended up buying a shredder, like just a normal old-fashioned shredder that you do by hand, and so in the future I'll be using that. I also have the one for the KitchenAid, and it works really well. I did use it for the carrot cake. I don't know if I posted that video yet or not, but yeah. So between the manual and the KitchenAid, I should be able to do better shredding in the future. I just figured the food processor attachment would work the way I thought it would work, and it did not. It pulverized everything. If you see, it's basically a paste, an onion paste. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyway, chicken's done. We're gonna scoop that out and just set it aside, and then yeah, I don't know. This recipe was so easy, but yet I was so frustrated this day that so here goes the celery. Normally you don't normally have to cut off the leafy bits. You can actually eat that. It's actually pretty nutritious for you. But I always end up cutting them off. I don't know why. But yeah, see how it's I guess you could say it's baby shredding it, but it makes it a paste almost. I don't get it. And I don't have that issue when I like use the KitchenAid. Of course, I didn't use the KitchenAid for celery. I used it for carrots. It worked great for carrots. But in this video you'll see coming up, I end up just dicing the carrots instead of shredding them because I wasn't thinking about the KitchenAid on this particular day, and I did not want to use the food processor and make carrot paste. So yeah, anyway, chicken gnocchi soup. If this is an Olive Garden Copycat recipe, I believe I said that in the beginning, and I mean, it was good. Oh, garlic. Don't even get me started on garlic. This one is elephant garlic, so it's a lot easier to work with than regular garlic. I did end up finding already peeled garlic at Sam's Club, and I bought some. So one moment, we'll come back. Alright, so I got my stock pot on medium high, and we are going to add our butter and our olive oil. So the recipe for a standard amount calls for 4 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm using a whole stick of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So my butter, and let me grab the olive oil. And tablespoons. Normally I just guesstimate, but I'm trying to be somewhat accurate since I've never made this before. Oop, that one went a little over. Alright, so we're gonna melt the butter. Once the butter's melted, we're gonna add in the onion, celery, and garlic. Alright, so the butter is melted, so we're going to add in, like I said, our onion, celery, and garlic. And we're going to cook that until onions are translucent, which they basically already are. So we're just going to get those cooked down. And once that's cooked down, we'll come back for the next step. Alright, so while those are cooking, we're going to go ahead and get some carrots peeled. Yes, like I was saying, I bought some already peeled garlic from Sam's Club. It was a big bag. I put it in the freezer so it would stay fresh longer. And I do still have fresh garlic I need to use up, but the already peeled garlic is so convenient. Like if I'm having a day where I need garlic, but I really don't feel like fighting with garlic cloves, because let me tell you, these garlic I cannot talk. The last batch of garlic cloves I bought, oh my god, they were so hard to, you know, get the skin off and everything. It's like, I think in the future, if I don't have the already peeled garlic and I need garlic, I'm gonna get elephant garlic, just because it's so easy to work with
It's got the same flavor. It's technically not garlic. I forget what family it's in. I want to say the leek family, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'd have to look it up again, but it's technically not garlic, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. It is, it has the scent of garlic, it has the flavor of garlic, but it's not garlic. Okay, so here I am. As you see, I got the mandolin out. I was trying to use the slicer thing on that. It doesn't work very well, so I eventually just give up and start chopping the carrots, I think, or I might just slice them. I don't remember. We're gonna see. But yeah, I'll be back next break.
All right, so we're ready to add our flour and creamer. So we're gonna do our flour first. 1/4 cup if you're making a single recipe. I'm doubling it, so you're gonna stir this in and let it cook for about 1 minute. Just gotta get that flour taste out. Also, it sucks up all the moisture. All right, so I'm gonna let that cook for a moment. Alright, so it also calls for 1 quart of creamer. Again, I'm doubling it, but 1 quart is 4 cups. So we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit and stir. And then we'll add the rest. That's 4 cups, so I need to add 4 more. If I don't have enough, it's fine because I'm adding extra chicken broth because it calls for 28 ounces of chicken broth and my boxes are 32 ounces, but this is exactly 2 quarts. A half gallon apparently is 2 quarts. All right, so let's get this started. It hasn't told me to turn it down yet, so I have not turned it down in temperature. So we want to simmer, so I guess turn it down. Does it say to bring it to a boil first? No. So we want to simmer this until thickened. So I'll come back once it's thickened, guys. All right, so while that's thickening, this is my 2 cups of carrots. I'm going to try to chop them a little finer.
All right, so here I am, just dicing up the carrots smaller, like I just said. And again, I don't know what was going through my brain at this particular point in time. I just knew I needed to get it smaller, so to me, manually just dicing them like this was going to be much easier since I could not shred them.
Alright, next guys, we're going to add the chicken broth. Oops. Like I said, I'm using 1 and it calls for 28 ounces. Mine is 32, so I'm going to use the whole thing. I might not use all of the second one. We'll see. Because I need to get the crap in it too, so. Okay, yeah, I used both, so. Alright, you're going to let that simmer, it says, until it starts to thicken up again. So we'll be back when that happens. Alright guys, it doesn't say to do this, but because I didn't shred my carrots, I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots. So let me see if I can do this without making a mess. Nope. I just want the carrots to get cooked, so that's why I'm adding them now. Normally you wouldn't add them until you add all your other ingredients, like the chicken, the seasonings, stuff like that. But that's okay. So that's, I didn't even measure that to see if it was 2 cups still. That's okay. All right, so let's let that cook. Okay guys, it's it's not thickened, but that's okay. I need to get everything in the pot and just let it simmer for like the next hour because I'm running out of time. So, so I need to add in, if you're following the directions exactly for one regular thing makes 8 servings, it says. So I'm doubling it. But if you're doing it for one, you're going to do, let me find it. You're going to do a teaspoon of salt. I'm doing a full teaspoon of salt. Should I need to take that out. Forgot about my pumpkin, guys. It smells burnt. I'm probably going to end up having to use can. Shit. Yeah, because that's been in for almost 2 hours. Half a teaspoon of thyme. So I'm using a full teaspoon of thyme. It's okay if you get a little extra. Parsley is also half a teaspoon, so I'm going to use a full teaspoon. Same thing, it's okay if you get a little extra. And nutmeg we're going to hold off on. Like I said, we'll check the flavors of everything else first. Let's add the chicken into it. Oh my gosh, this... Don't do what I did, guys. I just made a huge freaking mess. Whatever. I don't care at this point. I just don't care. Alright, and then we need to add the gnocchi. I have two 17.6 ounce packages. It says use a 16 ounce. Honestly, I don't know where these people live that they get these measurements. Probably not America, because for some reason I can't find anything in the measurements that they specifically wanted. That's how I feel right now, guys. That's just how I feel. I can't believe it's being this way. I don't want to drop in like 2 gnocchis at a time. Alright. Stir all this. And I'm missing the spinach. Let me see when we add that in. Alright, so we add the spinach in now. So that's 1 cup for a normal recipe. I'm doing double, so we're going to do 2 cups. We'll start with that. We can always add more. And you want to kind of gather it all together the best you can. Kind of roll it. I figured spinach would get added in last, but apparently not. That's good enough. Let's see if we need more. Nope. I mean, I'm sure if I push it down, it'll tell me I need more, but my husband doesn't really like the spinach anyway, so we're going to say that's good enough. Alright. Adding in the spinach. Alright. Let's get this stirred up. The spinach is probably not going to blend down into the bottom until it's wilted, so be patient. Trust me, it will wilt. You might even want to add more. I really need to get a Dutch oven. I don't think that'll help any. I really don't, but alright, so now that I got all the flavors in there, let me get a spoon. And I got a piece of spinach. You know what? It might really need the nutmeg, guys. So let me see what it says nutmeg wise. So it says 1/4 of a teaspoon. So that's for a normal amount, and I'm going to start with that. So if you are unsure about the nutmeg like I am, maybe only do half. Nutmeg just does not seem like it would be in this recipe. So let's get this all mixed in. Probably didn't give it enough time to really blend, but yep, I think you're gonna need the full amount of nutmeg. I don't know why it says optional. Maybe if you have an allergy to it or something, you could do without it, but I've never noticed the nutmeg, so you really can't taste it, but it tastes more like the restaurant with the nutmeg in it than it did without. So I'm gonna get that stirred up. Then I'm going to put a lid on it and let it simmer for the next hour.
Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.